Had a package show up in the shop today. Here it is. This is an air-powered jack. Now, this bus lives on airbags, and this is the same type of airbag that actually lifts the bus. So, take a look. The instructions are on the top, which is really odd. Mostly, they're buried in the bottom when we can't find them, but good thing. So, I can tell you it's relatively heavy. Let's get rid of the box. So on one end, we have wheels. We have a lifting plate here, and a hose wrapped around. Let's follow the instructions. So this lifting jack is only used in the process of rising and falling. And if you support the cart, please use safety stands. This product can only be used for the skirt part of the car. Now we know. Yeah, there's no instructions per se as to how to assemble this. So let's take a look at the parts we have and figure it out. This obviously goes here. Let's go with these two. They seem the most logical. Yep, countersunk holes. Put that there. This has 3 quadrants on it, probably to hold the handle up in the right place. So the handle. The air line gets fed up the handle. Okay, so I guess I'm all on my own here. Now, I would guess that this spring slides on here to protect the hose at the joint. At least that's where I would want it. So where this is bending up and down as we're moving the handle, that's where I'm going to put this little protector spring. This bolt is bigger than the others, so we'll use it as the pivot bolt. Move this up the handle. There's a notch at the bottom. Again, moving the hose. It's 4 large hot washers. So. Let's put that on finger tight. And then this one, the locking and sliding bolt that goes in. So, relatively self-explanatory so far. We'll take a 13mm wrench. We'll get that one later. So here we have the working aspect of it, and a couple things here. So maximum pressure 8 kilograms per centimeter squared. Who knows what that is? Maximum load 6 tons, so 12,000 pounds. Maximum height, or minimum height, 13.5 centimeters, and maximum height 40 centimeters. So we have the valves in for the valves here for air in and air out. Really stiff. There we go. These are not going to move by themselves, I can tell you that. So obviously this is air in, this one's air out, and it's got a little muffler on it. And this looks like it fits in there. Slide this up the hose. And it's a push to connect. Oh no, not a push to connect, sorry. They actually used a screw on it, even better. And by the looks of it, these brackets, well, they go there and underneath. So not too difficult there. Now let's flip this on its side. There we have it. So now we can adjust the handle to different positions. Upright, there, and there. You just have to tighten these down, and it's going to take a 13. There we have it. And once that's on there, you can comfortably put that up. They were kind enough to put the air fitting already on here, so let me get my air hose and we'll give this a try. As the compressor is pumping up in the background, we'll see how this goes up slowly. So I've got my air line connected to it, and I've seen a lot of people assemble these online in other videos, and they seem to have the handle upside down, which means they have the controls underneath the handle, which makes them difficult to get at, and I've seen them complain about that. Well, if you actually look at the picture on here, it shows it the way I've assembled it. So there we go. So if you're a keyboard warrior and you're out there writing, hey, you need to put it in backwards compared to the other people, well, I actually followed the instructions. Let's see how this raises up. So very little pressure and it's going up. There we go. Now, we have quite a large surface area here, and it doesn't take a lot of air pressure to lift things. Going in the bus here, not a lot of air pressure in these airbags holding up this bus. So, same with this, it doesn't take a lot of air pressure to lift it. Let's see how it goes down by itself without any assistance or weight on it. So once it's exhausted the air out, it's a nice slow exhaust, which to me is a safety factor, meaning if something blows, it's not going to go down very quickly. It is a small hose, so hopefully that never happens. It's got a nice rubber plate in the center here. And down it goes. Let's help it a little bit. There seems to be some form of telescoping support in the center of it. You can feel it hitting the different stages. Let's get a tape measure and verify those measurements that we get. So 6 3/4. And when we put it up, close the exhaust valve, open the air valve, up all the way. 15 3/4. So got a good elevation. Bring it back down. And as you can hear the compressor in the background, meaning that, well, I don't have full air pressure yet. So my goal for this jack is to be able to lift an axle on this, just to work on the tires, change the tires, etc. Because getting in there with a bottle jack, not always easy. This has wheels, has a handle, feel a little easier to go place, I hope. Let's compare the VEVOR air jack to a standard hydraulic floor jack. First of all, it starts off a lot higher. With this, not a concern. If you're lifting a car, a lowered car, it might be a little bit of a concern. If you have a pickup truck, not a big deal. As far as lifting goes, well, the speed of lift let's just say is a little different between the two. Floor jack, traditional one, goes up a lot higher and starts lower. So that's an advantage for the traditional floor jack. But getting under the bus and trying to pump this, not a good idea. And this 3-ton floor jack won't lift the axle on the bus. Going back down though is obviously faster with the floor jack. We'll see once we have some weight on this jack to see if it goes up and down just as quickly. So I'm really not concerned about this going down too quickly because, yeah, all the air is removed, then it starts to go down. So you have to release the pressure first. Once the pressure is gone, then it will go down. Let's see if I can go place this under the axle. We have the jack placed under the jacking point of the axle. Let's give it a test. Now this axle supports 12,000 pounds, 6,000 pounds per side. So we'll see if it can actually lift the tire off the ground. It's not lifting. Now the compressor is at 120 pounds, so it's at its maximum. And this is it. So yes, it took a bit of the weight off the tire, but it hasn't lifted the tire off the ground. Tire's still touching the ground. Oh no, it isn't. There we go. Hey, it does what it's supposed to do. So it can lift the wheel off the ground. Just a little bit, but enough. That's all I ever need to take it off the ground to change the tire anyways, or to work on bearings, things like that. So it passes the test. It can lift a bus wheel. Let's put it back down. So I'll turn the pressure off, open the exhaust valve. Now we'll take the bus out of the garage and see what it does with a car or with a pickup truck. You never know. See how useful this thing can actually be. From a big bus to a small car. Let's see if it fits. Oh, not quite. Make sure it's down all the way. So the rubber has a bit of a memory. It wants to spring back up. So now that I've got it down all the way, I'll close off the valves. That way it's not bringing any air in. So it just barely fits, but it fits. And then, let's go up. There it is, up all the way. Oh, not quite. So it's enough to lift the front and the back wheel on this car, which is nice. Now I'm going to close this off, disconnect the air. I'm going to go for lunch. See if it creeps down while I'm gone. So right now, it's 12:30. Come back around 1:30 and see how far down it's gone. Before I leave, let's take a measurement. So I'm at 15.5 inches, the intersection between the two doors. We'll come back in an hour, we'll see how it is. Back from lunch, let's see if it's gone down at all. Still at 15.5. So very good for 1 hour. Now it's time to take the wheels off this car and do something else with this jack. Final test for this jack. See how it lifts up the old shop truck. Now I'm going to put it under the center of the axle where I normally put the floor jack. We'll see how it lifts it up, and then we'll sort of bounce the truck around, see how solid it is as well. Doing this on grass and gravel for a reason. We don't always have the luxury of, having a nice shop floor to work on. So it fits under the pumpkin nicely, and up we go. Easily lifts up the old shop truck. Excellent. Let's bounce it around a little bit, see how solid this thing is. Didn't fall. Excellent. With all that, should you be buying a VEVOR 6-ton air-powered jack? There's a few drawbacks. The handle's actually a little short, but that can be fixed. The other one is, it doesn't go quite low enough for some vehicles. So those are the big drawbacks. The big pluses though, speed, ease of getting it up and down. And if you've ever had one of those air over hydraulic jacks, they're very slow going up as well. So this has a little more speed to it. The airbag to me isn't a concern. I live on airbags as it is. I've never had one pop. I've never had a problem. They can definitely take the weight. Other little characteristics that are annoying, shall we say the least, the handle isn't exactly the easiest one to work with, but the jack itself is great. So if you're looking for an economical, easy to use jack and you have compressed air, the VEVOR jack may be for you.